Welcome to your English era.
Your place to learn English and sound like a native speaker.
Hey everyone, welcome back to your English era. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam. Today's episode is for our advanced learners, level C1 and C2.
That means complex vocabulary, sophisticated expressions, and nuanced discussions.
Nuanced means having subtle differences and layers of meaning, not black and white, many shades in between.
Today we are tackling one of the most pressing issues of our time.
Pressing means urgent and demanding immediate attention.
Climate change and sustainability. Two words you hear everywhere, but what do they really mean, and how do you talk about them naturally in English?
That is exactly what we are going to explore today. Not just the vocabulary, but the real conversations that native speakers have about these topics.
Whether you are in a business meeting, a university seminar, or just having coffee with a friend, being able to discuss climate change confidently in English is incredibly valuable.
So let's dive straight in. Sarah, how concerned are you personally about climate change?
Honestly, it is something I think about a lot. I would not say I am consumed by anxiety about it, but it definitely influences the choices I make in my daily life.
Consumed by anxiety means so overwhelmed by worry that it takes over your thinking and your life.
I try to strike a balance between being informed and being paralyzed by doom and gloom.
Paralyzed means unable to move or act, and doom and gloom means an extremely pessimistic and dark outlook on the future.
What about you? How do you feel about it?
I go back and forth honestly. Some days I feel cautiously optimistic when I read about renewable energy breakthroughs or policy changes. Other days, the scale of the problem feels genuinely overwhelming.
Cautiously optimistic means having hope, but being careful not to be too confident, aware that things might not go as well as hoped.
And overwhelming means so large or intense that it is difficult to cope with or process.
I think that emotional complexity is actually very relatable for a lot of people. Climate change sits at this uncomfortable intersection of science, politics, economics, and personal responsibility.
Intersection means the point where multiple things meet and overlap. Climate change touches all of those areas simultaneously.
And that makes it really difficult to have simple, clean conversations about it.
Which is exactly why we are dedicating a whole episode to it. Let's start with the basics. What exactly do we mean when we say climate change?
Climate change refers to long-term shifts in global temperatures and weather patterns. While some of these shifts are natural, since the mid-20th century, human activities have been the main driver.
Driver in this context means cause or force, the main thing pushing the change forward.
The primary culprit is the burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, which releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
Culprit means the thing or person responsible for a problem or crime.
Greenhouse gases trap heat from the sun within the Earth's atmosphere, causing temperatures to rise. This is known as the greenhouse effect.
The greenhouse effect is a natural phenomenon that has been dramatically amplified by human activity.
Amplified means made much stronger or more intense, like turning up the volume on something.
And the consequences are far-reaching. Rising sea levels, more frequent and severe weather events, shifts in ecosystems, threats to biodiversity.
Far-reaching means having wide and significant effects, extending to many areas and aspects of life.
Biodiversity refers to the variety of life on Earth, the range of species, ecosystems, and genetic diversity that exists.
Threats to biodiversity mean that many species of plants and animals are at risk of extinction due to changing conditions.
Extinction means the complete disappearance of a species. Once a species is extinct, it is gone forever.
Now let's talk about sustainability, because climate change and sustainability are deeply interconnected.
Interconnected means linked together in a complex way. Each affects the other.
Sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
Compromising in this context means weakening or damaging, not making a deal but putting something at risk.
Future generations means the people who will live on Earth after us, our children, and beyond.
Sustainable development, therefore, means economic and social progress that does not destroy the natural resources and systems that life depends on.
That is a really important concept, because for a long time, economic growth and environmental protection were seen as opposing forces.
Opposing forces means things that work against each other, in conflict.
The old narrative was, you can either have a strong economy or a clean environment. You cannot have both.
Narrative means the story or framework through which we understand something.
But that narrative is increasingly being challenged. More and more evidence suggests that sustainable practices can actually drive economic growth rather than hinder it.
Hinder means to slow down or make more difficult, to get in the way of progress.
The concept of the green economy is a great example of this shift in thinking.
The green economy refers to an economic system that aims to reduce environmental risks and ecological scarcity while promoting sustainable development.
Ecological scarcity means the depletion or shortage of natural resources like clean water, clean air, and fertile land.
Depletion means the reduction of something to the point where there is very little left, using up resources faster than they can be replenished.
Replenished means refilled or restored to its original level.
Now let's talk about some of the key solutions that are being discussed and implemented around the world.
The transition to renewable energy is probably the most talked about solution.
Renewable energy comes from sources that are naturally replenished: solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal.
As opposed to fossil fuels, which are finite. Finite means limited in supply. Once they are used, they cannot be replaced.
The cost of renewable energy has dropped dramatically over the past decade, making it increasingly competitive with fossil fuels.
Competitive means able to match or surpass alternatives in terms of price and performance.
Another key solution is energy efficiency, using less energy to achieve the same results.
For example, better insulation in buildings, more efficient appliances, electric vehicles instead of petrol cars.
Insulation means materials that prevent heat from escaping from a building, reducing the energy needed for heating.
And then there is carbon capture technology, which aims to remove carbon dioxide directly from the atmosphere.
Carbon capture is still in relatively early stages, but there is significant investment going into developing and scaling it.
Scaling means increasing in size and scope, taking something from a small scale to a large-scale operation.
There is also the concept of the circular economy, which is gaining a lot of traction.
Gaining traction means becoming more widely accepted and adopted, building momentum.
The circular economy is an alternative to the traditional linear economy. In a linear economy, we take resources, make products, and throw them away.
In a circular economy, the goal is to keep resources in use for as long as possible. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover.
It is a fundamentally different way of thinking about production and consumption.
Consumption means the use of goods and services, how much we buy and use.
Now I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in climate discussions: the concept of climate justice.
Climate justice is so important and so often missing from mainstream conversations.
Mainstream means the most common or widely accepted ideas or practices in society.
Climate justice recognizes that climate change does not affect everyone equally.
The people who have contributed least to greenhouse gas emissions are often the most vulnerable to the effects of climate change.
Vulnerable means at risk of harm, exposed and without sufficient protection.
Low-income countries, small island nations, indigenous communities. These groups face disproportionate impacts.
Disproportionate means greater than what would be expected or fair, given the circumstances.
Island nations in the Pacific are literally at risk of disappearing beneath rising seas, communities that have produced virtually no emissions.
Virtually means almost completely, nearly but not quite entirely.
And within wealthy countries, too, there are disparities. Lower-income communities often live closer to polluting industries and have less resources to adapt.
Disparities means significant differences or inequalities between groups.
Adapt means to adjust to new conditions, to change in response to challenges.
So climate justice calls for solutions that are not only effective environmentally, but also equitable socially.
Equitable means fair and just, giving everyone what they need rather than treating everyone identically.
Now let's talk about the political dimensions of climate change, because this is where things get really complex.
There is broad scientific consensus that climate change is real, human-caused, and urgent.
Consensus means a general agreement among a group of people or experts.
But translating that scientific consensus into political action has proven incredibly difficult.
Proven means turned out to be, demonstrated over time.
There are several reasons for this. First, the fossil fuel industry is enormously powerful and has significant political influence.
Political influence means the ability to shape government decisions and policies.
Second, the costs of action are immediate and visible, while the benefits are long-term and diffuse.
Diffuse means spread out and not concentrated. The benefits of climate action are felt globally and gradually, rather than immediately and locally.
This creates a political challenge. Politicians are often focused on short-term electoral cycles.
Electoral cycles means the periods between elections. Politicians want to be re-elected, and that incentivizes short-term thinking.
Incentivizes means creates motivation for something, makes something seem appealing or advantageous.
Third, there is the issue of international coordination. Climate change is a global problem that requires global solutions.
Coordination means working together in an organized way toward a common goal.
But international agreements are notoriously difficult to negotiate and even harder to enforce.
Notoriously means widely known for something, usually something negative.
Enforce means to ensure that rules or agreements are actually followed, to make compliance happen.
The Paris Agreement of 2015 was a landmark moment. Nearly every country in the world committed to limiting global warming.
Landmark means historically significant, a turning point or milestone.
But critics argue that the commitments made were insufficient and the mechanisms for enforcement too weak.
Insufficient means not enough, falling short of what is needed.
Mechanisms means the systems or processes through which something works or is achieved.
Let's talk about individual action versus systemic change, because this is a debate that comes up constantly in climate discussions.
On one side, you have the argument that individual choices matter. What you eat, how you travel, what you buy.
On the other side, you have the argument that individual action is a distraction from the real issue, which is systemic change.
Systemic means relating to an entire system rather than individual parts, structural and fundamental.
The argument goes like this: even if every individual made perfect choices, without changing the underlying systems of energy production, agriculture, and transportation, we cannot solve climate change.
Underlying means existing beneath the surface, the fundamental basis of something.
And there is a counter-argument that individual choices collectively create market signals that drive corporate and political change.
Market signals means information communicated through buying and selling behavior that influences business decisions.
So if millions of people stop buying petrol cars, car manufacturers will invest more in electric vehicles.
Both arguments have merit. Merit means value or worth. They are both valid to some degree.
I personally think the dichotomy is a bit false. We need both individual action and systemic change simultaneously.
Dichotomy means a division into two completely opposite things. The idea that it must be one or the other.
Simultaneously means at the same time, both happening together.
Let's talk about the language of climate change, because the words we use really matter in this debate.
Absolutely. Language shapes perception and perception shapes action.
There has been a lot of discussion about whether to say climate change or climate crisis or climate emergency.
Climate change sounds relatively neutral and scientific. Climate crisis and climate emergency convey more urgency.
Convey means to communicate or express something, to transmit a meaning or feeling.
Some news organizations and governments have officially adopted the term climate emergency to reflect the urgency of the situation.
Adopted means chosen to use officially, made it the standard term.
There is also debate about the word sustainable itself. Some argue it has become so overused that it has lost its meaning.
Overused means used so frequently that it no longer has impact or clarity.
When every company claims to be sustainable, the word stops being meaningful.
This is called greenwashing, when companies make misleading claims about their environmental credentials to appear more eco-friendly than they actually are.
Credentials means qualifications or evidence of achievement. In this case, evidence of environmental responsibility.
Greenwashing is a real problem because it can mislead consumers and undermine genuine sustainability efforts.
Undermine means to weaken or damage something gradually, to erode its effectiveness.
How do you personally try to live more sustainably, Sarah?
I have made some changes over the past few years. I reduced my meat consumption significantly, not fully vegetarian, but much more plant-based than I used to be.
Plant-based means centered around vegetables, fruits, grains, and legumes rather than animal products.
I also try to buy less stuff in general. Consumption reduction is probably the most impactful thing most people in wealthy countries can do.
Impactful means having a strong positive effect.
And I have stopped flying for short trips. I take trains instead whenever possible.
The aviation industry is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, particularly because of the altitude at which planes fly.
Altitude means height above sea level. Emissions at high altitude have a stronger warming effect than those at ground level.
What about you, Adam? Any lifestyle changes you have made? I switched to a green energy tariff at home, so my electricity comes from renewable sources.
Tariff in this context means a pricing plan or contract. A green energy tariff means you pay for electricity generated from renewable sources.
I also cycle instead of drive for most of my daily trips, which has the added benefit of keeping me fit.
Added benefit means an extra positive outcome, something good that comes as a bonus.
And I have become much more conscious about food waste. Apparently, around a third of all food produced globally is wasted.
Conscious means aware and attentive, making deliberate choices rather than acting on autopilot.
Apparently means according to available information, based on what we know or have heard.
Food waste is a massive contributor to greenhouse gas emissions because when food decomposes in landfill, it releases methane.
Decomposes means breaks down naturally through biological processes.
Landfill means a site where waste is buried in the ground, the most common way of disposing of solid waste.
Methane is a greenhouse gas that is significantly more potent than carbon dioxide in the short term.
Potent means powerful and effective, having a strong effect.
Now let's look at some of the most important vocabulary for discussing climate change at an advanced level.
These are words and phrases you will encounter in academic texts, news articles, and serious discussions about this topic.
Mitigation means actions taken to reduce or prevent greenhouse gas emissions, trying to slow or stop climate change.
Adaptation means adjusting to the effects of climate change that are already happening or inevitable.
Inevitable means certain to happen, unable to be avoided or prevented.
So mitigation and adaptation are two complementary strategies. Complementary means working well together and completing each other.
Carbon neutral means achieving a balance between emitting carbon and absorbing carbon. Net zero emissions.
Net zero means that any emissions produced are balanced by an equivalent amount removed from the atmosphere.
Carbon footprint means the total amount of greenhouse gases produced by an individual, organization, or product.
Tipping points are thresholds in the climate system where small changes can trigger large, potentially irreversible shifts.
Irreversible means cannot be undone or reversed, permanent.
For example, the melting of Arctic permafrost is a potential tipping point because it could release vast amounts of stored methane.
Permafrost means ground that remains frozen throughout the year in polar regions.
Vast means extremely large in size or amount.
Feedback loops are processes where the effects of climate change amplify further climate change.
For example, as ice melts, less sunlight is reflected back into space, causing more warming, which causes more ice to melt.
This self-reinforcing cycle is called a positive feedback loop. Positive here does not mean good. It means the effect amplifies itself.
Self-reinforcing means the process strengthens itself as it continues.
Climate refugees or climate migrants are people who are forced to leave their homes due to the effects of climate change.
Forced to leave means having no choice but to move, compelled by circumstances.
Whether due to rising seas, extreme drought, or other climate impacts, this is already happening and is projected to increase dramatically.
Projected means predicted based on current trends and data.
Now let's practice using this vocabulary in more natural conversation. I am going to make some statements, and I want you to respond naturally.
Perfect, go ahead.
Do you think carbon taxes are an effective policy tool for reducing emissions?
That is a really interesting question. I think carbon taxes can be highly effective when designed well. The idea is to put a price on carbon so that the true environmental cost is reflected in the market price of goods and services.
The true environmental cost means the real cost to the environment and society, which is not captured in the market price without intervention.
Without a carbon price, companies and consumers do not have sufficient incentive to reduce their emissions because they are not paying for the damage they cause.
Incentive means motivation, a reason to do something.
However, carbon taxes are politically controversial because they can be regressive. Regressive means placing a greater burden on lower-income people.
A carbon tax on fuel, for example, takes a larger percentage of income from someone who earns less.
So effective carbon tax policies need to include measures to offset this. For example, returning the revenue to citizens as dividends.
Offset means to counterbalance or compensate for something, to reduce the negative effect.
Dividends in this context means payments made directly to citizens from the carbon tax revenue.
This is sometimes called carbon fee and dividend. and it has gained considerable support from economists across the political spectrum.
Across the political spectrum means from all political viewpoints, both conservative and progressive.
That is a really sophisticated analysis, Sarah.
I have been reading a lot about it. Okay, my turn. What do you think about the role of technology in solving climate change?
I am genuinely optimistic about technology, but with significant caveats.
Caveats means qualifications or conditions, important limitations or warnings attached to a statement.
On the optimistic side, the rapid decline in the cost of solar and wind energy has been genuinely extraordinary. Costs have fallen by over 90% in the past decade.
Extraordinary means remarkably unusual and impressive, far beyond what is typical.
Battery storage technology is advancing rapidly, which addresses one of the main challenges of renewable energy, its intermittency.
Intermittency means not being continuous or constant. Solar panels only generate electricity when the sun is shining.
Electric vehicles are becoming increasingly mainstream, and the charging infrastructure is expanding.
Infrastructure means the basic physical systems of a society: roads, power grids, communication networks.
And there are exciting developments in areas like green hydrogen, advanced nuclear, and direct air carbon capture.
Green hydrogen means hydrogen produced using renewable energy rather than fossil fuels.
However, my caveat is this: technology alone cannot save us if we do not also address the underlying patterns of overconsumption.
Overconsumption means using resources at an unsustainable rate, consuming far more than the Earth can replenish.
There is a concept called the rebound effect, where efficiency gains lead to increased consumption rather than reduced resource use.
The rebound effect is really important and often overlooked. If your car becomes twice as fuel efficient, you might drive twice as far.
Exactly. So the net effect on emissions might be zero or even negative.
Net effect means the overall or final outcome after all factors are considered.
This suggests we need behavior change alongside technological change, not either or.
Alongside means at the same time as, in parallel with.
Now I want to talk about youth activism in the climate movement, because it has been such a significant force in recent years.
The emergence of young climate activists has really shifted the public conversation.
Emergence means coming into existence or prominence, becoming visible and significant.
Movements like Fridays for Future, inspired by, demonstrated that young people were not willing to wait for older generations to act.
Demonstrated means showed clearly through action, proved through example.
And the rhetoric of those movements was often much more urgent and uncompromising than traditional environmental groups.
Rhetoric means the language used to persuade or influence, the style and approach of communication.
Uncompromising means not willing to make concessions, holding firmly to a position without softening it.
Some praised this as necessary urgency. Others criticized it as counterproductive extremism.
Counterproductive means having the opposite of the intended effect, making the situation worse rather than better.
Extremism in this context means taking positions that are seen as too radical or outside the mainstream.
The debate about tactics and strategy within the climate movement is really fascinating.
Tactics means specific methods and approaches used to achieve a goal, distinct from strategy, which is the overall plan.
Some argue that radical direct action, like blocking roads or gluing yourself to artworks, is necessary to force attention.
Direct action means taking action directly against a target, rather than lobbying politicians or raising awareness.
Others argue this alienates potential allies and shifts the focus away from the message.
Alienates means causes someone to feel excluded or hostile, pushes people away rather than drawing them in.
Potential allies means people who could support your cause if approached correctly.
It is a genuinely difficult strategic question with no easy answer.
And it reflects a broader tension within all social movements, between incrementalism and radicalism.
Incrementalism means making small, gradual changes within existing systems.
Radicalism means seeking fundamental, transformative change to the system itself.
Both have roles to play, and historically social change has involved both.
Let's talk about what gives you hope when it comes to climate change, Adam.
Genuinely, the energy transition gives me a lot of hope. The pace of change in the energy sector has exceeded almost everyone's predictions.
Exceeded means gone beyond, done more than expected.
10 years ago, people were debating whether renewables could ever be cost competitive. Now they are often the cheapest form of new electricity generation.
Generation in this context means the production of electricity.
And the momentum is building. More and more countries, cities, and companies are making net zero commitments.
Momentum means the force or energy that keeps something moving forward, building pace and unstoppable energy.
What gives you hope, Sarah?
A few things. I am inspired by the ingenuity and creativity of people working on solutions, from regenerative agriculture to urban rewilding.
Ingenuity means the ability to solve problems in clever and creative ways.
Regenerative agriculture means farming practices that restore soil health and biodiversity rather than depleting them.
Urban rewilding means reintroducing nature into cities, planting trees, creating green corridors, allowing natural processes to occur in urban spaces.
I am also inspired by the growing awareness among younger generations. They are inheriting this problem, but they are also the ones most motivated to solve it.
Inheriting means receiving something from a previous generation, taking on what others have left behind.
And I draw hope from history. Humanity has faced enormous challenges before and found ways to overcome them.
Draw hope from means to find a source of optimism and encouragement in something.
The abolition of slavery, the defeat of fascism, the end of apartheid, these seemed impossible until they happened.
Abolition means the formal ending of a system or practice, the complete elimination of something.
I am not naive about the scale of the climate challenge, but I refuse to succumb to fatalism.
Naive means having an overly simple or innocent understanding of a complex situation.
Succumb to means to give in to be overcome by.
Fatalism means the belief that all events are predetermined and that humans are powerless to change them.
Because fatalism is self-fulfilling. If we believe nothing can be done, we do nothing and nothing gets done.
Self-fulfilling means that the belief itself causes the outcome. The prophecy creates its own truth.
Whereas if we believe change is possible and act accordingly, we increase the probability that change actually happens.
Probability means the likelihood of something occurring, how likely it is to happen.
Okay, let's do our vocabulary review for today. There is so much to cover.
Climate change means long-term shifts in global temperatures and weather patterns driven primarily by human activity.
Greenhouse gases are gases like carbon dioxide and methane that trap heat in the atmosphere.
Sustainability means meeting present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs.
Renewable energy comes from sources that are naturally replenished like solar, wind, and water.
Biodiversity means the variety of life on Earth, including all species, ecosystems, and genetic diversity.
Climate justice recognizes that climate change impacts are distributed unequally and disproportionately affect vulnerable communities.
Mitigation means actions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow climate change.
Adaptation means adjusting to the effects of climate change that are already happening or inevitable.
Carbon neutral means achieving a balance between emitting and absorbing carbon dioxide.
Tipping points are thresholds where small changes trigger large and potentially irreversible shifts.
Greenwashing means making misleading claims about environmental responsibility.
The circular economy aims to keep resources in use for as long as possible through reduce, reuse, and recycle.
The rebound effect means efficiency gains can lead to increased consumption rather than reduced resource use.
Incrementalism means making small, gradual changes within existing systems.
Radicalism means seeking fundamental transformative change to the system itself.
Fatalism means believing events are predetermined and humans are powerless to change them.
And climate refugees are people forced to leave their homes due to climate impacts.
Phew, that was a comprehensive review. Comprehensive means thorough and covering all aspects.
Your challenge for this week is ambitious. We want you to write a short opinion piece of about 100 to 150 words on climate change.
Choose a position. Are you optimistic or pessimistic? Do you think individual action or systemic change is more important? Do you support carbon taxes?
Use at least 8 vocabulary words or expressions from today's episode.
Post it in the comments. We will give feedback and engage with your ideas.
This is a C1 and C2 level challenge, so push yourself. Write something that reflects your genuine thinking.
And that is a wrap for today's episode of Your English Era.
If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us grow.
Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new episode.
We drop new content every single week. You do not want to miss it.
Keep practicing, keep improving. You are doing amazing.
See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Your English Era starts now. Actually, I want to add one more dimension to today's discussion. the role of media and communication in shaping public understanding of climate change.
This is so important and so often overlooked. How we talk about climate change matters enormously.
Enormously means to a very great degree, extremely significantly.
Research suggests that the way climate change is framed in media coverage significantly affects public attitudes and willingness to act.
Framed means presented within a particular context or perspective that shapes how it is understood.
For a long time, climate change was framed primarily as an environmental issue, something for nature lovers and scientists to worry about.
Primarily means mainly, more than anything else.
But that framing failed to resonate with many people who did not see themselves as particularly environmentally minded.
Resonate means to have a meaningful connection with someone, to feel relevant and important to them.
Environmentally minded means having a strong concern for and interest in the natural environment.
More recently, there has been a shift toward framing climate change as a health issue, an economic issue, a security issue, a justice issue.
And research shows these frames can reach different audiences more effectively.
Audiences means groups of people you are trying to communicate with or persuade.
For example, framing climate action as an economic opportunity rather than a sacrifice resonates with business communities.
Sacrifice means giving something up, losing something valuable for a greater purpose.
Framing it as a matter of national security resonates with more conservative audiences who might be skeptical of environmental arguments.
Skeptical means having doubts and not easily convinced, requiring strong evidence before accepting something.
And framing it as a health issue, for example, the health effects of air pollution, resonates with communities directly affected.
Directly affected means experiencing the consequences firsthand, not as an abstract concept, but as a lived reality.
The stories we tell about climate change also matter enormously. Abstract statistics about global temperature rises can feel distant and
abstract means existing as an idea rather than a concrete reality, theoretical rather than tangible.
Means difficult to connect with personally, not feeling relevant to your own life.
But stories about specific communities, specific places, specific people facing specific consequences make it feel real and urgent.
This is the power of narrative, the power of specific human stories to make large abstract problems feel personal and real.
And this has implications for all of us. How we talk about climate change in our personal conversations matters.
Implications means consequences or effects, the things that follow from something.
When you talk to friends, family, or colleagues about climate change, how you frame it can either open minds or close them.
Open minds means make people more receptive to new ideas. Close them means cause people to become defensive and resistant.
Receptive means willing to consider and engage with new ideas and information.
Defensive means protecting yourself against perceived attack, becoming resistant rather than open.
So rather than lecturing or moralizing, which tends to make people defensive, sharing your personal experience and genuine feelings tends to be more effective.
Lecturing means speaking to someone as if you are teaching them a lesson, can come across as condescending.
Condescending means treating someone as if they are less intelligent or knowledgeable than you, talking down to them.
Moralizing means expressing moral judgments about people's choices and behavior, making people feel guilty.
Guilt can be a powerful motivator in the short term, but it tends to lead to defensiveness and avoidance in the long term.
Avoidance means deliberately staying away from something because it causes discomfort.
So the most effective climate communicators tend to lead with values and connection rather than facts and guilt.
Values and connection means finding common ground, identifying shared principles and relationships before introducing the topic.
Finding common ground means identifying areas of agreement as a foundation for discussion.
Let's talk about one more topic that I think is really important: eco-anxiety.
Eco-anxiety is a term that has emerged to describe chronic fear and worry about environmental destruction and climate change.
Chronic means persistent and long-lasting, not occasional but ongoing.
It is particularly prevalent among young people who are acutely aware that they will live with the consequences of decisions being made today.
Prevalent means common and widespread, existing in large numbers.
Acutely aware means very keenly conscious of something, having a sharp and intense awareness.
The American Psychological Association has recognized eco-anxiety as a significant and growing mental health concern.
Mental health concern means something that negatively affects psychological well-being and requires attention and care.
Eco-anxiety can manifest as persistent worry, sleep disturbances, feelings of helplessness, and difficulty concentrating.
Manifest means to show itself, to become visible or apparent through symptoms or behaviors.
Helplessness means feeling unable to do anything to improve a situation, a sense of powerlessness.
And it is important to acknowledge that eco-anxiety is a rational response to a genuinely serious situation.
Rational means based on reason and evidence, logically sound.
We should be concerned about climate change. The scientific evidence is clear, and the stakes are enormous.
Stakes means what is at risk, the potential consequences of success or failure.
But it is also important to find ways to engage with that concern productively, rather than being paralyzed by it.
Productively means in a way that generates useful results, channeling energy into positive action.
Channeling means directing something toward a particular purpose or outlet.
Some people find that taking action, however small, helps reduce eco-anxiety because it replaces helplessness with agency.
Agency means the capacity to act and make choices, the feeling of being able to influence your situation.
Others find community, joining groups of like-minded people who are working on solutions. This reduces isolation.
Like-minded means having similar values, beliefs, and goals.
Isolation means being alone and disconnected from others, feeling cut off from community and support.
And some find it helpful to limit their consumption of distressing climate news, while staying generally informed.
Distressing means causing anxiety, worry, or sadness, emotionally difficult to engage with.
Setting boundaries around your media consumption without disengaging entirely is a healthy balance.
Disengaging entirely means completely switching off, refusing to engage with the topic at all.
Because complete disengagement leads to ignorance and passivity, which ultimately makes things worse.
Ignorance means lack of knowledge or awareness, not knowing about something important.
Passivity means accepting a situation without taking action, the opposite of agency.
So the goal is informed, engaged action with appropriate emotional self-care.
Appropriate emotional self-care means looking after your mental and emotional health in a balanced and healthy way.
It is okay to feel worried about climate change. It is okay to feel grief about environmental loss.
Grief means deep sadness and sorrow, the emotional response to loss.
What matters is that those feelings motivate action rather than leading to paralysis or avoidance.
And remember, you do not have to solve climate change alone. No one does.
Collective action means acting together as a group toward a shared goal, more powerful than individual action alone.
Collective action is what has driven every major positive change in human history.
And that is an encouraging note to end on. We are capable of extraordinary things when we work together.
Extraordinary means far beyond what is ordinary or expected, truly remarkable.
Okay, now let's do our absolutely final review, a rapid-fire round of the most advanced vocabulary from today.
Nuanced means having subtle differences and layers of meaning.
Disproportionate means greater than what would be expected or fair.
Mitigation means reducing or preventing greenhouse gas emissions.
Tipping points are thresholds, where small changes trigger large, irreversible shifts.
Greenwashing means making misleading claims about environmental responsibility.
The rebound effect means efficiency gains can lead to increased rather than decreased consumption.
Incrementalism means making small, gradual changes within existing systems.
Fatalism means believing humans are powerless to change events.
Framing means presenting information within a particular context that shapes understanding.
Eco-anxiety means chronic fear and worry about environmental destruction.
Agency means the capacity to act and make meaningful choices.
Collective action means acting together toward shared goals.
And regenerative means restoring and renewing rather than merely sustaining.
That is an incredible amount of sophisticated vocabulary for one episode.
And all of it is genuinely useful for discussing one of the most important topics of our time.
Your ultimate challenge for this week: have a real conversation about climate change in English with someone you know.
Use the vocabulary and frames we discussed today. Practice expressing your genuine views on mitigation, adaptation, individual action, and systemic change.
And write a brief reflection on that conversation in the comments. What worked? What was difficult? What did you learn?
We would love to hear about your experiences.
And that is truly a wrap for today's episode of Your English Era.
Thank you so much for being here. This community means everything to us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves deep, meaningful conversations in English.
Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new episode.
We drop new content every single week. You genuinely do not want to miss it.
Keep practicing, keep growing, keep engaging with the world in English.
Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye, everyone.
Bye, your English era starts now.